Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying to the heart of India, to a monument that is not just a building, but a poem written in stone. We're talking about the Taj Mahal, but we're going to explore it through the story of the man who built it, Shah Jahan, and his final resting place within its hallowed walls. Most people know the Taj Mahal as the ultimate symbol of love, built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan for his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal. And that's absolutely true. When Mumtaz passed away in 1631, a heartbroken Shah Jahan commissioned this architectural marvel, a mausoleum so grand it would be remembered for centuries. For over 2 decades, more than 20,000 artisans, craftsmen, and laborers worked tirelessly, using the finest materials from across Asia. They poured their skills into creating this white marble masterpiece, inlaid with precious and semi-precious stones, a testament to an emperor's undying love for his queen. When it was completed, Mumtaz Mahal was laid to rest in the central crypt, the absolute focal point of the entire complex. Everything, from the symmetrical gardens to the towering minarets, was designed to draw your eye to her center. It was a perfect, harmonious tribute. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. If the Taj Mahal was built solely for Mumtaz, where was Shah Jahan meant to be buried? This question has puzzled historians for centuries. A popular legend, first told by a European traveler named Jean-Baptiste, claimed that Shah Jahan had a grander plan. He intended to build a second Taj Mahal, a mirror image of the first, but constructed entirely from black marble on the opposite bank of the Yamuna River. The two magnificent structures would be connected by a bridge, symbolizing the eternal union of the emperor and his empress in the afterlife. Imagine that sight, a white tomb and a black tomb, linked forever. It's a beautifully romantic and dramatic idea, isn't it? For a long time, this story of the Black Taj was widely accepted. It painted Shah Jahan as an even more epic romantic, planning his own mausoleum to rival the one he built for his wife. The foundations for this black tomb were even thought to have been discovered in the Mehtab Bog, or Moonlight Garden, across the river. However, modern archaeology tells a different story. Excavations in the 20th century in the Mehtab Bog did uncover the base of a large structure, but it wasn't the foundation for a black marble mausoleum. Instead, archaeologists found that it was the base of a garden complex. What they realized was that the so-called foundations were actually the remains of a large octagonal pool. This pool would have been filled with water, and on a clear, moonlit night, it would have created a perfect, breathtaking reflection of the white Taj Mahal. The garden wasn't for a new tomb. It was designed to be a viewing point, a place to admire the existing beauty of the Taj from a different perspective. So, the story of the Black Taj, as romantic as it is most likely just a myth. So, if there was no Black Taj, what was the original plan for Shah Jahan's burial? The truth is, we don't know for sure. It's possible he intended to build a separate, smaller mausoleum for himself elsewhere, as was the tradition for Mughal Empire. His own father, Jahangir, and his grandfather, Akbar, have their own distinct tombs. It would have been customary for Shah Jahan to follow suit, but fate, and his own son, had other plans. In 1658, Shah Jahan fell seriously ill. This triggered a brutal war of succession among his sons. The victor was his third son, Aurangzeb, a ruthless and ambitious military commander. Once he seized power, Aurangzeb declared his father incompetent to rule and placed him under house arrest in the nearby Agra fort. For the last 8 years of his life, Shah Jahan was a prisoner. His prison, however, was a gilded cage. He was confined to luxurious quarters within the fort, and from his window, he had a direct, albeit distant, view of his life's greatest creation, the Taj Mahal. Can you imagine the melancholy of his final years? To be the man who commissioned one of the world's wonders, a monument to his love, only to be able to gaze at it from afar as a prisoner of his own son. It's a story of incredible irony and tragedy. He had created a paradise on earth for his wife, but he was denied the freedom to even visit it. When Shah Jahan died in 1666, it was Aurangzeb who had to decide his father's final resting place. Aurangzeb was known for being a very orthodox and frugal ruler. Building a new, grand mausoleum for his father was out of the question. It would have been an extravagant expense that went against his principles. Plus, politically, it might have been seen as honoring the father he had overthrown. So, Aurangzeb made a pragmatic decision. He ordered that his father, Shah Jahan, be buried right next to his beloved wife, Mumtaz Mahal, inside the Taj Mahal. And this is why, when you visit the crypt of the Taj Mahal today, you see something that breaks the perfect symmetry of the entire complex. In the center of the room, right where it should be, is the cenotaph of Mumtaz Mahal. It is ornate, perfectly placed, the focal point of the chamber. But to its west, tucked beside it, is another cenotaph. It's larger, and its placement feels ... off. It disrupts the perfect balance of the room. This is the tomb of Shah Jahan. His cenotaph is the only asymmetrical element in the entire Taj Mahal complex. It's a clear visual clue that this was not part of the original design. His burial here was an afterthought, a practical solution to a political and financial problem. While it broke the perfect symmetry of the design, it also, in a way, completed the love story. The emperor who built this monument for his queen was ultimately laid to rest beside her, side by side for eternity. It wasn't the grand, separate tomb he might have envisioned, nor was it the mythical Black Taj. Instead, his final resting place became a poignant footnote in the very love story he sought to immortalize. Today, millions of visitors walk through the Taj Mahal, marveling at its symmetry and beauty, but many don't realize that the placement of the builder's own tomb tells a story of power, betrayal, and a love so strong that it was united in death, even if by a twist of fate. It is a powerful reminder that history is rarely as simple or as perfectly planned as the monuments we see. So, the tomb of Shah Jahan is not a separate building, but an integral and somewhat disruptive part of the Taj Mahal itself. It is a silent testament to the dramatic final chapter of his life and the unexpected way he was reunited with his beloved Mughal. The broken symmetry is, in its own way, a perfect ending to a perfectly imperfect love story. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey into the history of the Taj Mahal and the story of Shah Jahan's final tomb. If you found this as fascinating as I do, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the stories behind the world. Greatest landmarks. Let me know in the comments what you think about the Black Taj legend. See you in the next video.